words to describe the year, I would say epic, awesome, nonstop, memorable, and oath.
Impressive, unforgettable, exceptional, awe-inspiring, and exceptional.
The absolute best yet.
Challenging, rewarding, learning, growth, and awesomeness.
Crazy, in the best possible way.
The year in 5 words, I would say record-breaking, epic, crazy, awesome, and fun.
Kicking ass and taking names.
Crazy, huge, epic, awesome, inspiring, or simply the best we've ever had.
Describe the year in 5 words. This is fucking awesome.
One thing that I love about working at Footers is the people, because everybody is so passionate about what they do and so involved in what they do, and it's just really cool to be around that every day.
The one thing that I love about working at Footers is that the bonds that have been nurtured through my coworkers, as well as being able to have the growth to do what I love.
One thing I love about working with Footers is how everyone has a relationship and a connection, and they've built trust with each other. So it's really easy to work with other people in the office because you know that they're really reliable and they're going to get things done and do it the right way.
I love working at Footers because I'm surrounded by people who truly support me, what I'm going through. They really want me to improve and be doing my absolute best.
What I really like about working at Footers is the people. Everyone's so kind and the community is wonderful.
One thing I love about working with Footers is we're not afraid to try new things.
I love working at Footers because I can express myself fully through our food, and our events go amazing because of all of our creativity we get to put into it.
I love the Footers family and that I get to work with such great people internally here at Footers, and I also love that I get to work with such amazing clients who are friends on the external level.
I have to say it's a pleasure to be here in Sin City. I'm here to spend the big bucks to make the big bucks.
French, French toast. Toast, toast, French. French, French toast. Toast, toast, French. French. I can't do this.
I absolutely loved the cruise. It was my first time ever being on a ship, well, a cruise ship, my first time ever being out of the country, and my first Footers family vacation. So those were three firsts and very big things for me, and I thought it was absolutely worth it, 1,001.3%.
One thing I really liked about the cruise was the Cheers package feature, because there were some people that I hadn't met yet or wasn't too familiar with yet, and I got to see how intoxicated they got with trying to meet the 15 drinks minimum, or maximum I should say, per day. So that was a highlight for sure.
Like the stars that counters start to roll down the there's nothing ever hurry that I'm walking ever do. Alright, April. How about Christina Aguilera?
Yes!
Footers Catering is our 9 core values, and the Jimmy Butt program, which allows each employee to recognize each other for going the extra mile.
So one thing I love about working at Footers is everyone's really passionate about what they do. And I know it's really cliche, but it's something that I found to be pretty rare.
big corn cob pipe to play with and enjoy.
I know what you are, baby.
Make it better every day became a verb, MIBE, and it's become part of our DNA where it's just expected.
One improvement that we made this year that really stands out to me is the execution of synchronized service. Over the last couple of months, I really feel as though our team has been able to elevate the level of service that we provide on plated events and really make the event more about the experience rather than just the food. I think that it's really amazing when our team surrounds a table and is able to serve every guest at the same time.
One improvement I think we've seen this year is our training. We took a lot of new people on our team and we took them through a process that really taught them how we want to do things, and everything has been going great since we did that.
This year we took 10 people to Cater Source, which was in New Orleans, and each of us got to go and take different courses, participate in different presentations, watch our teammates participate in presentations about all different facets of the catering industry. I personally got to participate in the ICA Scholarship Fund. I was a recipient this year and received a mentor of my own to show me around the Cater Source conference, as well as talk to me about what he did and with his business and how long he's been a part of Cater Source, which was really amazing. And we got to meet other catering companies and people that do the same things we do with their own companies and talk about struggles and talk about different areas for growth, which was an amazing opportunity for us. So at the last day of the conference, they had an amazing party that we attended, and we had made several friends with different companies all week long. And as we were leaving the party, we created this amazing train of us singing and dancing our way out of the party, and everybody else joined in and took pictures and took videos of us, which made us feel so amazing that we had left this party together in such a bang. And
look at this oyster.
I'd say the biggest improvement that I've seen this year would definitely be our design and decor department and all of the new displays that we have with all of our buffets. They look absolutely amazing.
So one improvement that I've seen this year, in the kitchen at least, is we have a lot of really cool new stations. I'm obsessed with the ramen station. I think it's awesome.
The orientation process has been significantly improved to have a cross-feed of information between each section of our company.
I think the biggest improvements in pastry have been how many breads we do and how much we have started producing from scratch. One of the biggest points of pride for me as a pastry chef is being able to produce from scratch, so I love that we do it here.
My favorite MIBE this year would be the renovations on the building, specifically the balance room and lunchroom. One improvement that I've seen at Footers this year is all departments collaborating before our big events.
One of the biggest improvements that I saw coming out of this year was we no longer look at these events that used to be big for us as a huge challenge. We've done them now. Now we're looking at big events and how do we make them better than before, with a sense of ease that we didn't necessarily have prior. I think that's a huge accomplishment for us.
Heather participated in Chopped, And we did a viewing party for her at Mile High Station, which was amazing because we got to watch the entire episode from start to finish as a team, as well as with so many people from her life that helped influence her and where she has come from and who she is now. And for us to be able to see the finale together and know that she won and have the unveiling be right there as a group was just such an amazing experience to have with her and be able to congratulate her.
The service moment of the year was Lindsay Gertz at the Rajabi wedding because Nat broke the bride topper and severed her in half, and she MacGyvered the shit out of it. She took a bobby pin from her hair and put it back together like it was nothing. It was so cool.
The top serving moment of the year to me is actually a wedding that we did up in Granby. By far the most challenging event that I've ever worked at Footers.
They get up there, there's this huge wedding with Jessica Adler, and the tent is on grass that hasn't been mowed, like brush type grass. And Jessica Adler went and bought a lawnmower.
There we had to mow the lawn under the tent even to get the table set into place.
So I received some snaps of, I believe it was Tessa or a couple of people actually. They were mowing the grass at an event. There was some event outdoors.
I think it was a push mower to mow down these like 6 foot tall sections of crazy grass.
And wind came through and tore apart the entire tent and all the table settings. And throughout the entire event we were running up and down the hill trying to feed the hungry guests
just so that the lovely couple could enjoy their reception.
At the end of it, we pulled it off, and the bride was so appreciative of Colbert and I and the entire team, and really recognized the hard work that went into making that day happen.
And I was glad I wasn't on the event, but at the same time happy that that's something that we do. You know, full service caterer for sure.
I get to write all the Jimmy Bucks, so I get to see all the big and small touches that everyone does on site for their guests and the client, and for each other, which makes me really proud to be part of this team.
The coolest thing about Oath was the sheer size of it.
The coolest thing about working the Oath event was that our team really pushed each other to create a really amazing event for our clients and their guests.
The coolest part about Oath was being at the ramen noodle station. It was absolutely crazy, and we had a huge rush at once, and we still were able to take custom orders throughout the craziness, and everyone was so happy. I was pretty impressed.
The most challenging part about Oath was definitely serving.
back to back to back to back to back meals for 2,200 people. You'd finish breakfast service for 2,200 and immediately have to flip into lunch for 2,200, and then immediately have to flip into dinner for 2,200, and then late night snack for 2,200. And then by the time we got done around midnight or 1 a.m., we got to wake up at 4:30 a.m. and do it all over again the next day.
The people watching was amazing, seeing people from all over the world and hearing all of their fun accents.
The coolest thing that I saw at Oath for sure was the tents. I believe the entire time I was there I was referring to them as mini Epcots. It was insane to me that there's something that was temporary that you could break down because they look like actual structures. And walking around at night and seeing that they kind of turned into nightclubs was really cool too.
I remember being in the trailer at probably midnight, the night after Oath ended, and hearing about the pop-up buffet that people had put on. I just couldn't believe that in the midst of all the chaos going on, our team found time to set up a separate event and pull it off as if it was planned.
The coolest thing about Oath had to be working with all the different caterers and really just kind of getting a different point of view on large events other than the people we normally get to work with.
The most challenging thing about Oath was probably running on barely any sleep and nitro coffee. And then just being haunted by empty snack bins for weeks afterwards.
Of course, the lack of golf courts.
The coolest thing about Oath was driving the cart backstage to do all of Macklemore's catering with Allison. And all of his freaking hot tea and honey and pizza and the weirdest stuff that they wanted ever. That was fun, actually.
The reason that I think the Oath event was so cool is because we were able to push ourselves to the extremes and still make it a successful event, as well as being able to meet clients and guests of the clients that were from other countries and making sure that they had an excellent meal and they truly appreciated what we did for them.
My favorite part about the year was probably Oath. As much as nobody wants to talk about it, it was a lot of fun. We really got to challenge ourselves, and as difficult as it was great. I think that pushing ourselves is what makes us so good at what we do.
The most challenging thing about Oath was working those long hours on our feet for 18 hours a day and just having to keep up with all the clients' needs, even though they were last minute and crazy, but we did it, crushed it, killed it.
The most challenging thing about Oath across the board was the timeline. From the onset of planning the event and having 6 weeks to put together a huge 3-day event for 2,200 people each day, but we did it.
I think being part of something so big and unique and something we've never done before was the coolest part, and we learned and gained a lot from that.
The coolest thing about Oath was having everybody come together to execute the largest event that I think any of us have been involved in, and to watch it all come together fairly seamlessly, and then to just kind of breathe at the end was really cool.
The coolest thing about Oath was our team's ability to pull together and accomplish the unimaginable. When we were presented with the opportunity, we never in a million years would have thought that we would be able to cater such an amazing event. And not only did we do it, but we did it with great teamwork, great attitude, and it was really unbelievable.
Fun. Is that 5? 4. Awesome.
I hate being on camera. Like, I know that I was on TV, but I was sweating the whole time.
It's practice. It's really weird with the camera there, but I'm supposed to look here.
The year for, oh gosh, I looked right at you. Sorry.
You said it.
Anthony, I get super nervous in front of cameras.
Oh, am I supposed to say again? What?
Okay.
I need to think about what I'm gonna say before I say it.
No,
Sorry. Cameras make me really uncomfortable.
Trust everyone else, then I don't like how I'm saying that.
This thing, let me redo that one.
Departments before our big events.
I'm improving, and that's, nope. Sorry.
I can't. I know what I want to say, but not like how I want to say it.
I believe it was Tho spelled T-H-O, right? Yeah.
It just shows. One thing I love about. No, can we start over?
Yeah.
Hey, is this urgent?
Nah, I'm really awkward. This is so weird. People that I'm newly. No. Start over.
Can I say MacGyver the shit on camera?
Sorry. That was really bad.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I got it. I got it. Everybody's really cool, and it's infectious, and I'm so good on paper. Wait, how do I say that? Can I just well, yeah, it's the people, and what else did I say?
I dare you to compete with me at musical chairs because I have a trophy to prove that I'm probably the best, so.
Jason is doing things on the back.
Ew.